Democrats gearing up to weaponize President Trump's mega bill in a bid to win back the House. Let's bring in Matt Keelen, GOP strategist, and the Vogel Group principal, and Fred Hicks, a Democratic strategist. Gentlemen, welcome.
Good morning, Mike.
Thank you for having us.
So, Matt, now that the president's going to sign it later today, the key will be for Republicans to get out and sell it, since most Americans don't really know all that's in the bill. What about that?
Well, absolutely. Listen, the Democratic Party has shown every single one of them voted for the largest tax increase in American history. I can't even remember the last time a Democrat voted to cut taxes. The American people want this bill. The American people want America to succeed. The American people want the economy to continue to grow. And Donald Trump is delivering on all of those things, and he'll keep delivering.
Fred, I remember Republicans running against another massive bill, Obamacare, over several election cycles. How did Democrats run against the big, beautiful bill?
Well, first of all, I want to say happy birthday to America. Today is a great day because it's our Independence Day. I don't want to push back on something Matt just said there, and I'll answer your question. I want to remind our viewers that there were Republicans in both chambers that voted against this bill. This is not a Democratic opposition bill or Republican bill. This is something that had sticking points for and problem points for a number of people, and even those who ended up voting for it, like the members of the Freedom Caucus, expressed a lot of reservations about this bill. But that being said, I think as we look ahead to 2026, I think this bill does sort of mark the beginning of the 2026 election cycle, and I think that Democrats are going to focus on potential cuts to Medicaid. And a really big point here is not that Democrats are opposed to tax cuts; it's for whom the taxes will be cut and who receives the bulk of benefits from a bill like this.
Matt, some have noted that the benefits kick in right away, while the cuts don't kick in until after the midterms. What about that impact?
Well, the big thing about this bill, Mike, is that the Republicans didn't want people's taxes to go up. And it's every single person who pays taxes has their rate stay the same. That's the beauty of this bill when he passed it in 2017. Everybody got a tax cut. In fact, the people at the lower end of the income bracket were getting the biggest amount of taxes cut. So for a politician, that's exactly what you want. And the other thing that Donald Trump does that the Republicans love and Democrats hate is he campaigned on this for 4 years. He does what he says he's going to do. He is not a typical politician. He actually delivers on what he says he's going to do.
Fred, does it worry you if people get a break on no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and see their tax bill in their paychecks going down every cycle in terms of campaigning against that as a Democrat?
No, the Democrats and I personally would love to have more money and keep more money, so that is not an issue. And I want to remind our viewers that Vice President Harris also campaigned on no tips or no taxes on tips. So that's not a Democratic or Republican issue. I think one of the big things that we're going to really need to focus on and think about, and again, there are a lot of benefits in this bill, so I want to be very clear to that. But there are two problems that Democrats have with this. Number one, Republicans historically campaign on a balanced budget, and this does not do that. It is, by any and every measure, it expands the deficit. As a matter of fact, to Matt's point earlier, the last time the budget was actually balanced was under a Democrat, under President Bill Clinton. But the second thing that I think Democrats are going to focus on is who are the losers, and that we're talking about up to 16, 17 million Americans whose senior citizens really whose health care could be adversely impacted by this legislation. And so I think Republicans were smart to build in the benefits early, going up to the 2026 election cycle, and the pain afterwards, just in case they happen to lose the House, and so they can blame Democrats. But the reality is that there's a lot in this bill, and there's a lot for both sides to talk about over the next 16, 18 months.
To be fair, that balanced budget was with a Democratic president and a Republican Congress. Political strategist Matt Keelen, Fred Hicks, gentlemen, thanks very much. Happy Independence Day.